Hey guys, and welcome back to the Mattyo channel. And I just want to say a big welcome to all the new subscribers. If this is the first new video you're seeing, welcome to the channel. And if you're not subscribed, why not consider subscribing? It really helps me out. Now today, we're going to be taking a look at a really weird video that kind of popped up in my recommended. I'm not entirely sure why YouTube is promoting this, let alone recommending it to me of all people, but you know, hey, I guess everybody likes vampires, right? That's right, vampires. I'm not talking about fake ones either. This is a real couple that actually believes that they are really vampires, down to the point of actually consuming human blood. Well, why don't we get to know our new blood-sucking friends?
You bloody won't believe how this Texas couple keep the kink fresh and alive in their marriage. Together 7 years, Logan and Daly are just your regular everyday couple.
First time I ever met Daly, I had an immediate connection with her.
Logan started hosting these events at his nightclub, and I started assisting with them. He spent the next 2 years asking me out. We went on a date. We were sitting at the table, and he reached out and he touched my hand, and it was like this electricity. I remember going to the bathroom and calling my best friend and being like, I'm going home with this guy. Like, that's what's gonna happen tonight. I'm going home with this guy.
He knew immediately when he saw her that they just had this connection, and they spent the next 2 years with him chasing after her everywhere she goes. I don't know about you, but that kind of sounds pretty Twilight to me, you know, Edward going after Bella. Then, when he finally convinces her to go on a date, no. When he's finally able to get his vampiric powers of hypnosis to work for long enough to get her to go out with him, she touches his hand and feels electricity, and that electric feeling makes her want to go home with him. Now, I know a lot of people would say, oh, that's just so sweet. It's love at first touch, I guess. But those bleeding hearts are just the type our couple loves to munch on with a glass of wine, because that, my friends, is clearly some kind of vampiric mind control.
Daly, referred to as my soulmate. I love everything about her.
The stakes are higher than usual because there's something unique about this couple.
My name is Daly South. I belong with my husband, Logan, the vampire king and queen of Austin.
Daly and Logan live their lives day to day, or rather night to night, as vampires.
That's right. Our friends here are the king and queen of the vampire community in Austin. Now, I don't know if you guys saw that, but his eyes, dude, his eyes are really, really vampire eyes. Like, I mean, either that or they're just the eyes of some coked up dude with color contacts, but those are the eyes of a vampire king. Definitely not the coked up dude with color contacts. I mean, what's more likely, honestly? Given how weird this couple is, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, and by the way, just in case they see this, I kind of like my blood where it is, guys, so please don't come after me. I mean, my blood probably doesn't taste that good anyway, so I'll just never go to Austin again, and I'll teach my audience some vampire lore.
They've ruled for 6 years now, running the Austin chapter of the Vampire Society. But they've both identified as vampires for half of their lives.
The majority of vampires commonly awaken during puberty.
I had my vampiric awakening when I was 15 years old. Being a vampire isn't something that you can just choose. It is something you are born with. It is something that is a part of you.
So wait, people have their vampiric awakenings when they're in puberty? I guess I can cross being a vampire off of my list. But come on, what are the logistics of that? How does that work? I thought vampires had to bite someone to turn them into vampires. Kind of like with zombies, you know, werewolves. Isn't that like established canon? Hasn't that been canon for like thousands of years? What, do you just wake up one day just wanting blood? Seems a little bit worse than the stuff they told me way back in my high school health class about puberty. Like, yeah, you might get hair in places you've never had it before, start sweating in places you didn't know you could sweat, grow a couple of feet, become really attracted to the opposite sex. Oh, and you might want to start sucking blood. Don't worry though, all those things are completely normal and part of becoming a healthy adult. I mean, it really just doesn't fit in with that speech, does it? And more importantly, how many different people had this type of vampiric awakening during puberty that they have enough people together to make an Austin chapter of the Vampire Society? That means there's other chapters as well. So apparently somewhere in this world, there have been all these kids undergoing these weird vampiric puberties, and none of us have noticed.
They sleep during the day to avoid the sun.
Whenever I am in the sun for long periods of time, first I get a pretty bad headache, along with nausea, shaky, kind of tremors.
I go into direct sunlight as little as possible. I would say maybe a grand total of an hour a week, if that.
Come on, guys. I get that the whole vampire thing kind of requires you to go out into the sun less than most people, but that's not exactly proof that you're vampires. I mean, if that's all you got, then you might as well be YouTubers. Have you ever seen PewDiePie film a video outside? I know I haven't. And honestly, I've never put a video out of me outside either. Just saying, maybe I'm a vampire. And then again, if vampires awaken when they're 15, which is right around when I started my first ever YouTube channel, and they avoid sunlight, that's pretty much just me, dude. Maybe I'm a vampire. Now, like, what are the odds that vampires and YouTubers are so, like, closely related? Maybe we share, like, a common ancestor somewhere way back in the evolutionary timeline, where at one point somebody started to suck human blood, and, like, his brother or whatever just started to, make clickbait titles. Who knows?
Vampires like Logan and Daly have one major need, and it's disturbingly simple.
A vampire is someone that, for one reason or another, needs to take in human energy in the form of blood or psychic energy or sexual energy to keep themselves healthy.
These two have a craving that can only be quenched one way.
I drink human blood from a donor once a month. I do it because I have to.
So wait, they only drink blood once a month? Now, of course, I thought drinking blood was the only thing vampires did. And I'm sorry if that's vampire phobic or whatever. I didn't know. But what do you do for the other 3 weeks? Starve yourself? Isn't that like what vampires subsist off? Human blood? That just ain't right. On the plus side, though, I can say that I'm officially not a vampire. Because despite the other similarities, I have never drank human blood. At least not willingly. I'm very anti-drinking blood, as I think most people are. Well, at least I hope anyway. I'm not really sure anymore because there's this huge underground vampire community. But wait, did she say she was getting blood from a donor? Who's going around just donating blood to these people? Do they like set up shop next to a blood bank with a banner advertising their need for blood donations? Like, oh yeah, I'm over here with my girlfriend. We're just setting up, our little stand. It says, don't go to that blood bank. Come to our blood bank and we'll pay you for your blood. Come on down. Though I guess there's always going to be somebody who will do any job. As Mike Rowe said, it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Journey to vampirism started in an average high school, in an average neighborhood, in an average city.
The first time I ever drank blood, it was actually a really intense experience for me because I remember sitting in my English class and I started to feel this intense thirst that I'd never felt before. I ran to the first water fountain I could find and I just started gulping down water. I didn't feel any less thirsty. And at that point, I happened to run into one of my friends in the hallway that had been helping me through my awakening, and they said, oh, this is what you're experiencing, let's go find your donor. So we found my friend and they pulled out a lancet and I drank from them and it was immediately gone.
What this story is just, what kind of friend sees you drinking from a water fountain and just assumes that it's because you must be a vampire? How can someone know you're a vampire before you are one? More importantly, did she already have this worked out? Did she already have a donor ready? Some random other girl that was carrying around a lancet to take blood from herself just for this moment? How much planning went into this? And where were the teachers? Because this all took place at high school. You've got presumably 3 girls wandering through the hallway talking about how thirsty they were and then, drinking one another's blood. I don't know. That's gotta be against some kind of school rule. Though, thinking back, I'm not sure that my high school explicitly banned drinking other students' blood consensually. So maybe it was okay? Still really weird though.
Logan and Daly don't just need blood in the bedroom, they need new blood, in the form of another woman.
I don't like the way blood tastes. I find it inconvenient to have to do regularly. I'm someone that needs it, but I'm not a big fan of it. For Logan, it can be very sexual for him.
But sometimes Logan's appetite is too much for Daly to take.
I'm sorry, I can't handle this.
So it is one of those things. They could have sped this whole video up by just saying that they're using it to spice up their bedroom. That's literally the only reason they're doing it, I'll guess. All the other stuff they just came up with is a cover-up to make people think that they weren't deviants. Just vampiric Americans instead, which I guess is somehow more accepted than just saying that you drink your girlfriend's blood to get your rocks off. Well, not only that, I guess, because sometimes it's not his girlfriend's blood he drinks. Basically, I guess my takeaway now from this whole video is that there's some kind of freaky community living among us that drinks each other's blood, and also some donor blood, to spice up their relationship, which is definitely weird. If any of you are vampires though, vampiric Americans, please don't come after me, because honestly, I may be making fun of you, but my blood tastes really bad. I'm sure of it. I've never really tried it, but, I eat a lot of carbs, and you don't want that, Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you did. It really helps out the channel. Thanks so much, and have a great day. Watch out for vampires. God bless.